Hi guys, so welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will be talking about everything you will be able to do during this week in World of Warcraft, and I will also remind you of a few new important things that you should definitely keep in mind. So, of course, the first important news is the fact that this week is the first week you will be able to start obtaining some dinars, and you will be able already to buy one item from some of the different drops from the new raid and also from Mythic Plus in hero gear or mythic gear. So these dinars are the puzzling cartel chips, and the way you will be able to obtain them is by doing the new weekly quest that will require you to kill 4 raid bosses from the Liberation of Undermine raid or to complete 4 Mythic Plus dungeons. So here, as you can see, these quests will be called the turboboost powerhouse challenges or ultra prime deluxe turboboost powerhouse challenges. And you will be able normally to complete this quest in any difficulty, which will normally make this pretty easy. And once you've completed one of them, you will be able to receive 3 of the different cartel chips, which will again allow you to buy already one item from the vendor. After that, as you can see, you will only be able to get one each following week. And so it means that in total, you will be able to buy 2 more items. So in total, it's 3 items, which is still pretty good because it means that if you're missing some beast gear and some of the rare drops from the new raid, you should normally be able to get them through this new system. So when it comes to where you will be able to spend your different dinars, as you can see, we will have a new vendor, the consultant Rexol, which will located right here in Dunegorger. And again, tomorrow and on Wednesday for European realms, you will be able to just go there and talk to this consultant and see all the different items that she will be selling. And here, when it comes to the different items, it includes all these different items from the new raid. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of them, including some of the really rare drops, such as the Jaster Diamond Ring, the Tiny Pal Gun, and some other items. And then you also have all these different items right here from Mythic Plus. So it means that you can really target the ones that are the most powerful for your character, and also obviously the different really rare drops from the new raid, because these are usually the most powerful items and the most difficult ones to get because they're really rare and they don't drop that often. Now, one important thing for you to remember is that if you want to buy these different items in mythic difficulty, you will need to have killed already at least once the relevant boss in mythic difficulty. So let's say, for instance, right now you want to get the Tiny Pal Gun from Mugsy in mythic difficulty. You will need to have killed him at least once in mythic difficulty in order to be able to buy this item from the vendor in mythic difficulty. If you've killed any of these different bosses in LFR, normal, or heroic difficulty, you will be able to buy the similar item in heroic difficulty. But if you want mythic, you will need to have killed the boss in mythic difficulty. So again, here it means that basically, even if you've only completed the raid in LFR, you will still be able to get the hero track gear from the vendor. But for anything that is from mythic, you will need to have completed the same boss in mythic difficulty. So this is something that is a little bit annoying, especially if you are trying to get these really optimized items from mythic. But again, at least you can target the different bosses that you need and then try to find a group for this specific boss. Again, here, let's say, for instance, you want the Reverb Radio Trinket from Rick Reverb. You just need to kill this one in mythic difficulty, and then you will have access to the item on the vendor. So all in all, I feel like this is still pretty good because it means that even if you've only done LFR normal raiding, you will still be able to buy a piece of 671 high level gear, and you will then be able to further upgrade it. And of course, if you are mythic raiding, then you will also be able to get a really good piece of gear. Another important thing for you to keep in mind is that during this week and during the turbo boost, basically, you will be able to transfer your different battle stones from one character to another, but they will have a 25% penalty. So this is something that might be pretty useful if, for instance, you're buying one of these new items with your dinars on your main character and you don't have enough battle stones. You will then be able to use the ones from your different alts. And of course, you just need to remember that you will lose 25% of them in the process, but this is still something that can be very useful. Or on the contrary, you can also just use some of them to gear up some of your alts. So this is definitely something that can be pretty useful for you. So again, I would really recommend you to do this during this week because it will give you a big boost by getting one of these rare items or one of your beast item through the dinar system. And this is going to be honestly very easy to do. Now, next to that, this week we also have the Timewalking event for Classic WoW. So here again, this is a really good time for you to level up some of your alts, especially because during this week, we still have the Winds of Mysterious Fortune that will allow you to get the increased 20% experience gains plus the 10% from the Bottle of Mysterious Wisdom that you will also be able to get. So just use this event if you're still trying to level up some of your alts. And also, I would recommend you to just do a little bit of this Timewalking events simply because in patch 11.1.7 we will be getting 2 new mounts from BFA Timewalking as well as a bunch of other really cool rewards. And so if you want to get your hands on some of them, you will need a lot of the different Tamra badges. And so right now is a good time to start farming for all these new rewards. And just as a quick reminder, these are all the new rewards. So as you can see, you have this mount right here, you have this overmount, these are 2 new pets, then you have all these new ensembles. And as you can see, all of them are pretty pricey. So if you want to buy most of these different items, you will need to spend quite a lot of these different Tamra badges. You then have a bunch of really cool new weapons and everything from BFA. So again, this is my main recommendation to start now. So when you arrive in 11.1.7, you will be able to directly buy these different mounts and other rewards. This week is also the final week of the Winds of Mysterious Fortune event. So here I would strongly recommend you to use this as an opportunity to farm all the different reputations from Dragonflight and also to really try to maximize as much as possible the reputations from the War Within, because the 200% extra gains for Dragonflight and the 100% extra gains for the War Within are extremely useful, and this is something that sadly won't be returning before some time. So really make sure to go and farm these different reputations and all the different rewards and everything linked to these different reputations while you can. And also remember that the main potion, the XP potion that you can get from these different mysterious satchels that you get on some of your alts are things that you will be able to keep with you even after the end of the event. So if you want to get this extra 10% potion for later on, I would recommend you to try and farm some of them while you can, because they might be useful in the future. And here again, the easiest way to do that is to simply go on one of your alts, go kill any mobs in the War Within or Dragonflight, and on your first kill of the day, you will be able to get this epic version of the Mysterious Satchel. And here normally you will have a pretty high chance at getting one of these potions. And you can just do it on fresh level 10 allied race alts. So this is something you can just do again and again and again. So if you're really interested, I would recommend you to try and secure a bunch of them. Finally, you also have only 2 more days to enjoy the PvP Brawl Stomp, which is the easiest event ever in order to farm some honor points and also the different mark of honors that will allow you to buy some PvP appearances from any expansion. So I would also strongly recommend you to try and enjoy that while it's there, because then it's not going to be back before some time. Finally, the last thing that I want to mention is the fact that you will also, during this week, be able to go in Vol'dun, and here the Dunegorger Kraulok world boss will be available. So for those of you who are not familiar with this world boss, he is only available once every 6 weeks, and you will have a small chance at dropping this mount right here, which is Molly. So this is a cute little alpaca mount. So again, you will only have 1 chance per character per week, so I would recommend you to go there with all your different alts and kill the world boss once with each of your alts. And hopefully, if you're lucky enough, you will be able to get this mount. And again, remember, he's not up every week, and so really try to make sure to do that when he's up, because otherwise it can be pretty painful to farm. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime I wish you all a great day. Bye!